So today we're going to talk about the seasons and how it affects our hair and our health and our lives. The seasons are a very big thing that we want to be aware of because there's a lot of energy, but there's also different elements that go on with the seasons. Obviously, spring has the most energy because it's getting ready to burst open life. Summer goes on. If you look at crops, that's how I look at hair. So I started looking at hair when I was very young, the same as I looked at farming, crops. That the scalp is basically the soil. So our skin, our scalp is the soil. Then we have roots in the soil. Yeah, so we have the roots of our hair is in the soil. So we want the scalp to be in really good condition. We want our sebaceous glands to be balanced. That's our oil glands. We want the growth patterns to be in balance. There's hundreds of different things going on with the growth patterns. Then we have the roots, obviously, the hair follicles. So it starts off as fuzz. So in the spring, so I'm going to start off in the spring to bring us back to where we are, to give you a more clear description. Then we're going to combine all this with hair cutting in the seasons. So it's also seasonal. So in the spring, we have so basically we have to prepare the soil. So the winter, we're basically hibernating in our caves, hopefully, but our modern society doesn't do that, unfortunately. So we're like 24/7, day in, day out, weekend, month in, season. They don't even look at the seasons. It's just like another day. But if we can come back to nature, then you're going to really change your lives. Your whole lives will basically come back into harmony where the energy is. So being present in the moment is, most people are stressed. So they don't want to be in the moment. They don't want to be present because there's too much stress there. So going back to the beginning is the art of being alive. So being alive, one can be a very extraordinary artist. The art of being alive is an art. Or you can just day by day go through the same thing with no changes, know really what's happening. So we're getting to our hair, but the whole part of our hair is holistic with our lives, right? So everything about us is like I call spokes in a wheel. Each spoke creates either a stronger wheel or a weaker wheel. So our lives are becoming more powerful or becoming less powerful. And then we also want to be able to have being in the moment. So we're going to go into winter because there's a lot to cover, and I don't really want to get overwhelming on one thing because I can even hear myself speaking. Every time I say something, I go into 33 different things. Boom. So covering 33 things at once, which I can do, but most people cannot do that. So in the winter, it's hibernating. You should be calm, resting, nurturing. It's the same thing with our skin and our scalp. It's a good time to allow the scalp and everything to rest. So the winter, I'm allowing my hair to grow longer because that's giving me a lot more heat practically wherever you live, unless you live in the extraordinary desert, but most people don't. So my hair is the longest in the winter and the shortest in the spring. And we're going to get into why that's happening with energy. So we have the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, which is thought. Then we have the energy body, which this is really where I'm going to be on today. And so the hair basically is ethereal. So we have material, which is our bodies. You can see everything around us. Anything you can see has a border, makes it material. So if you look and there's no border, You don't see it because it's not contained. So in our physical body, everything has a border, right? Face, the body, hand, the reason we see anything, furniture, cars, nature, because it has a border. But without that, so then we go into the spiritual world, has no border at all. That's why most people don't see it. It can be seen, but most people don't see it because we're looking to see borders. Like we're used to looking at borders. And the same thing with our hair. We're used to seeing our hair day in and day out. So we're not really aware of what's coming out of the roots because we cover it up. We cover it up with sprays and shines and conditioners and artificial waxes. So most of the conditioners are all wax based. So they just coat the hair, they look nice. But when you see the new hair coming out, that's really very, very healthy. And the hair on our, like I work with clients who haven't seen their hair in 10, 20, 30 years. And they've been dyeing it, bleaching it, doing something chemical to it. And then when I have them stop, when they're willing to stop, and the new hair starts to come out, even a half an inch to an inch, they actually start crying, saying, "Oh my God, I haven't seen my hair in 30 years. It's beautiful." The natural hair is really luxurious. So that's what we're coming to, is coming back to having luxurious hair. And how we get there is the whole spokes in a wheel process that I educate and teach with, is that it's not just shampoo, have fabulous hair. No, if the hair isn't fabulous, it's not fabulous, and you have to like cut it off and get the new hair to come out. But in the meantime, we have to work with, we're not going to shave our heads. We're going to work with the process. And once you get there, then to maintain it. So in the winter, it's relaxing, no stress. If there's stress, get rid of it. Don't bring a lot of stuff in. There's less activity. Then you're having nice, nurturing stews and soups and warm foods because the body wants that. And if we're ignoring the physical needs, then that's going to affect the ethereal world because the spiritual world has no boundaries. One doesn't see it. Let's put it that way. Then you come down to the ethereal world, which is hair. So the first thing that ether touches is our hair. We have 5 types of hair on the body. They do 5 different things. So mainly Morocco methods concerned with the crown chakra. This is the first type of hair, the crown chakra, hair on the head. Then we have the facial hair, the eyebrows, eyelashes, nose, ears. The second, third is the beard. Even women, as you get old, you look at your grandmas, they start having these little hairs on their face. That's very biblical. There's lots of mystery and magic with the beard. Then you come down to the body hair. That's the 4th type of hair. Then you come down to the pubic hair. That's the 5th type of hair. And they all do completely different functions. So when you become very sensitive, so that's the art of being alive. When you become more sensitive with your life, you'll start seeing at a different level. That's what I'm leading to. So we normally don't see this because we're just looking with an agenda. You know, I want to see this because this is my daily thing and this is what I want. But if you let that go and you have this freedom, complete freedom, you'll start seeing other worlds, other dimensions, and then the hair comes into that. So that's why I tell everybody, don't put chemicals on your hair. Don't blow dry your hair. Don't do anything you wouldn't do to a plant. So that's the barometer. If you wouldn't do that to a plant, why would you do it to hair? Well, the hairdressers say the hair is dead. What's the most alive thing that we have is our hair. It's the most alive element that we have in the material world is hair. And animals have fur. That's a whole nother observation. So the ether, the spiritual world, material world, ethereal world. So the energy is coming down before it reaches us. It's ether. Then it touches the hair, and that's the first element that is going to start transforming you, your energy, and all these 5 different types of hairs on your body are doing hundreds, if not thousands, of things all the time. It's like when you eat food, you don't digest it. You simply eat the food, and there's a conscious way of eating food and an unconscious way of eating food. But when we eat food, then the hundreds of things happen to digest the food. We don't do that. The body does that. But there's also an ethereal process going on that I want to bring in, that the digestion also brings in ether. So there's 5 types of food: 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 elements, 5 senses. Everything's into 5. When you really understand reality, you see 5. So there's the first type of food is impressions. Those are the people you hang around with, your thoughts. These are basically what your surroundings. That's your first food. That's the most powerful food that we have. So when you become very sensitive, one's life becomes an extraordinary responsibility to basically stay at a very high level and not letting it get toxic or stressed or damaged. So that's where stress comes in from my beginning of the conversation. So we really don't want stress in our lives. We don't want it. And we basically, there's a lot of easy ways to neutralize it, which we're going to get into today from breathing. So the second type of food is air, oxygen. So the way we consciously breathe is very, very powerful. So it's conscious breathing, unconscious breathing, conscious impressions, unconscious impressions. And simply, you're not aware. So these people are in our lives that are ruining our lives or toxic our lives, and we put up with it. That's very unconscious. So oxygen is the second food, conscious breathing. We could bring that in, which I always do. And the third type of food is water. So that's why I encourage everybody first thing in the morning, don't drink anything but water. No coffee, no juice, no anything, because that's dehydrating. So the body is 5, they need moisturizing at different levels. So first thing in the morning is warm water, not cold, never ice, never, 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 never ice. And then not hot, warm with a fresh lemon. So that's the first 20 minutes in the morning. First thing in the morning, I put on my kettle, brush my teeth, scrape my tongue, come back out, start my morning drink, hydration. Then the fourth type of food would be vegetarian. I'm not saying that you need to be vegan or raw vegetarian, but that's the fourth type of food. And then, so for me, it's going to the local farmer's market. I buy no food from the stores, 0. If I eat it, it comes from local farmers. The store is like if I need to buy apple cider vinegar or that type of things. But at the market, all my food, but it's local, it's seasonal. So we come back to where I'm leading to be seasonal. So whatever the market has, that's what I eat. If I want peas and it's not on the season, I don't have peas because it doesn't exist. I don't go to the store and buy them because the body wants to eat only where it's from and what's local. That's the healthiest thing you can do to your bodies. And I use S to make us more aware and become sensitive. So wherever you live, that's the healthiest food you can eat at all levels. So I'll go a little further. So like I was born and raised in Connecticut in the 40s. We all had back gardens because my grandparents came out of World War I. as most of our grandparents did. And they had in their backyard, they all had gardens. No matter, like, we were in Connecticut, so we didn't have a garden in the winter. We prepared the soil. That's what I'm getting to with our skin and the roots, right? This is going to grow your hair. So you want this in great condition. You want your skin and your scalp very healthy. So we're coming into the scalp massagers. They're all rubber, and you massage your hair, your scalp to get blood and air circulating. And you need that stimulation to get the blood flowing, the air pumping throughout. And you're also stimulating the roots. You're stimulating the growth patterns. You're stimulating and balancing the oil glands, your sebaceous oils. So this is very important. Every morning when I get up, one of the first things I do is tongue scrape, brush my teeth, and then I have two in the bathroom, and I massage very, very deeply for 3 minutes in the morning. First thing, very, very, very healthy to do. So the farmer's market is what I'm getting to. So that's very seasonal. So if it's out of season, obviously you're in the winter and you're not growing and nothing's growing there, then you've second choice is you find the healthiest place you can start. So find out in your local community, like, is there anybody producing food that you like? Like, is there any local people have honey, right? So all of that. So when I was in Connecticut, we basically had different places that produce different things. I had like local farmers in the winter even produce eggs for us, stuff like that. So the food, so then you come down to the fifth food, that's carnivore. So I'm not saying nothing's right and wrong, nothing's good and bad. I'm just saying, though, if you're eating meat and you're eating fish, that's the fifth type of food. So you can see how it's a pyramid. Everything that I understand is in a pyramid. It's 5, then it's 3. So the pyramid is at the lowest quality food is carnivore. It's very hard to digest. The body really doesn't get a lot out of it. No, not really. And as you come up to vegetarian, it's easier to digest because our teeth are the same as a cow. We grind food. We're not carnivorous. Like my dog she's from the wolf family. She's a German Shepherd. She eats raw meat. I feed her raw meat. She eats bones, all types of raw meat. And she wants that. It's very healthy. It's extremely healthy. And you go up to the second pyramid, second, first. So those are all your food pyramids. I hope you get that. Yeah, make it very basic, not complicated. So now we're going to go back to the seasons in the winter. So you want to let everything rest. Then the spring's coming, spring equinox. The ritual for thousands of years is all the boys, they either shave their heads or they cut their hair really short, because that's going to send tremendous energy at all levels back into the bodies. So when I was very young, my first impressions, my brother and I, and the first thing was like we go to the barbershop and we get buzzed off and goodbye hair. That was spring. Very, very healthy. Because then all of this oil didn't have to take care of the existing hair. All of the oil, the sebaceous glands, everything was pumping out new hair, right? Everything was going to be brand new. So in other words, we don't have the same hair year in and year out. No, we have brand new hair constantly coming in, and that's what we maintain. But you can have your hair come all the way down to your ankles if you want. Nothing is rigid, nothing's black and white. So then I'm going to get into hair cutting today, but I don't want to stop. So then we come into summer, and then you let the hair get a little longer. So right now it's summer, and you can see right here that I cut my hair very short, right there. But now this hair is not long enough to connect into my wave pattern. So what that means, if you simply make an S, right? If you draw an S, so when you're going around to that corner, if you cut it there, you cut and break your wave pattern because it has to come. So the hair has to grow here, around, and out. Then you have a wave. So you can see right here that my hair is cut. See, the wave is cut. So my hair doesn't complete the wave because I cut it. You can see it has a tremendous wave pattern, but right there, boom. So when I allow this to grow, this S pattern, like here, the hair is getting longer, longer. So right now I had cut it shorter over here, but it's getting longer. So now it's at the point where it's right in the middle of the S, and you can see that it's not completing my wave. So the whole thing. But you can see it very obviously here. So I will allow this to grow back in so that the hair is going to be where it is now. I'll allow it to get longer, longer, and longer. So then it comes to this point and this point, and then I have a complete S, and my wave pattern is complete. So same with all of you. So don't allow anyone to cut your waves, your curls, whatever you have movement, that's chopped. But I did it for a season, so a reason. So see, I just brush it back. It looks fine. Push it in. There's the wave pattern. But when this grows, the ends grow in, the wave is going to get 5 times stronger than it is right now. It's going to go whoosh, 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 complete wave. See? Boom. There. And you have all this, especially in the back. My hair is very, very wavy. So in the back, I have this very strong wave pattern. So that's why I do blunt cutting on the ends. I cut the hair on the ends, what we're going to get into today. So you have this incredible wave pattern. Blunt is the ultimate. It sounds like it's ridiculous. Like just cut your hair on the ends, there's nothing going to happen. No, there's a whole art of cutting hair, blunt cutting hair. It's very artistic. And it produces the most amazing hair, natural hairstyles. I've never seen anything else do anything better. Since I started working at Kenneth's, everyone did blunt, snip, hair cutting. Short, medium, long, very long. Everyone got blunted. But there's a whole technique. And I just gave you one of the secrets of not cutting the S. Hope that makes sense. See, it's not complete. But when I allow this to grow out, it's going to go there. So it's like here, my hair is cut right here, but I need to let it grow so it completes the S over, boom. And then it'll come down into another S. So in the summer, the hair is short, but I'm allowing it to grow in. Then in the fall, so that's what I was getting to. Now we're coming into September, coming into the equinox. So now I'm allowing my hair to grow longer. And then eventually we'll go into winter solstice. Then we come back to the completion where we want to rest, relax. So coming back to the conversation of stress. So stress is cancerous, it's carcinogenic, it's horrifying, it's terrible. It upsets, unbalances, all the bodies get out of balance from stress. So today we live in a very stressful situation because, well, I'll make it really simple. Nothing right and wrong, but this is instant. Right now we're instant. We're on Zoom. There's nothing wrong with it. But if we abuse it, which everybody is, or I would say almost everyone is, and I see people everywhere walking on the street, driving, in the car, in the restaurant, sitting in a restaurant. There's a mother, father, and children, and they all have phones, and they're not talking to each other. Zero. While they're eating. this is the height of insanity from my point of view. Because eating is very sacred. You should be consciously eating, being present, allowing the taste to take over, allowing the whole saliva, the digestive system to get activated, and then allowing the food to come down and to be present through the whole meal and being very social. So if you're around with people, we're talking, don't talk negative, nothing poisonous. So that's high form of food. So when we're talking and we're talking negative, that's the first food, our impressions, right? So we're talking something horrible, toxic, while we're eating food. So all five bodies are being poisoned. All five levels of food are being poisoned. So I hope that's making sense. So I'm encouraging everyone little by little to start incorporating this into our daily life so that it'll become a ritual. So ritualizing our world, our lives is my responsibility, nobody else. I can't blame anyone. I can, but that's very irresponsible. I shouldn't even blame myself. I just need to change. So that's what Morocco method represents, is to change, the art of being alive. And we incorporate all of this, and then it comes out because Morocco method represents hair, skin, and the wellness industry. Back in the 60s, I was way ahead of myself in the wellness industry by producing and only using natural products and methods like brushing the hair, so critical with the oil glands, scalp massaging. So there's a whole cycle of seasons that we should really be aware of. So let's go a little bit into hair cutting. So you need really, you don't have to buy very expensive scissors. Like I have a pair of Akari. They start at $1,000, but they're from Japan. They're tempered steel, and they're done with very professional hairdressers who cut hair. We use them all day long. So of course I'm not going to use a $30 pair of scissors. If I'm cutting hair all day, if you're a really top stylist, you're going to have the best scissors you possibly can because that's our livelihood. But anyway, so Morocco method, if you want, produces a hair cutting kit. It has tail scissors, a comb, and scissors. And then I don't know how much it is, but it's not very expensive. So, and I have videos how to cut your own hair. So I encourage everyone, watch the videos for every product because the visualization is the best teacher because you can actually see it. So what I'm going to start with is the very basic, as the hair is wet. We need to wet the hair. You can take a shower, shampoo your hair, or just brush your hands that are wet into the hair. But then you want to basically start by bringing it down. If I bring it down, I pull the ends, even from here, from very short hair, even from here, right there, I comb up. So if I'm combing up, you can see the hair. Then I take the scissors and I go right across the top of my fingers and I snip, 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 and I cut the tip of the hairs off. That's blunting the hair, it's sealing the hair so it doesn't split. And it's sending a message down into the roots, which is equivalent to 12 to 18 acupuncture treatments. Which, if you're not familiar, one acupuncture treatment's pretty powerful. But if you can have the power of 18 acupuncture treatments in one session, so when we actually blunt the hair, we snip. You hear that? So when you take the hair, so we'll start in the back, we pull it down. It's nice and wet. Down, 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 down. Then I come down, down, down. Then I'm going to be at the very end, the very tip of my hair, and I'm going to snip There, I just cut off like, see, 1/16 of an inch of hair. That's very powerful because that's going to blunt the hair, seal the hair. It's going to volumize the hair. So the hair is very thick. See how thick my hair is in the back? Because it's all blunted, but it's not one length. It has this incredible dimension of shape. Yeah, yeah. So I'm encouraging everyone to blunt snip the ends of your hair. So watch the videos and allow the hair to grow out. So if it's dyed or bleached, grow it out, do henna. So I hope that encourages you to basically start realizing that blunt snip hair cutting you can do yourself. You have a tail comb. You can section the hair with this, section it off. But watch the video, bring it out. You bring the hair all the way out, 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 out. So then you come down to the very ends, and you get to the ends and you snip it off, even 1/4 of an inch. So hair from, I'm a hair shaman. Hair must be cut minimum once a season, 4 times a year, must. To grow long hair, you have to seal the ends. So what does that mean? It means you see everybody have 100% thickness here, then it's like 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. So by the time it's coming here, this hair is already split. And the further you come down, the thinner it gets. So when you come down, let's see, like women with hair, down to here or halfway down their backs, the end of the hair is only 5%. It's missing 95%. That's not luxurious. Why have all this long hair when at the ends, like let's say the last foot of your hair is only 10%? 10%. Wouldn't you rather have 100% thickness? Of course. It'd be luxurious to have really, really thick hair from the top, middle, down to the ends, and it's all very luxurious, thick. So that's why we seal the ends so the hair doesn't split. So your hair is growing 3-4 inches a year. But when you actually do the lunar cycle, you can double the growth lengthening cycle. You can grow 5, 6, even 7 inches a year by using the lunar cycle. And never cut your hair outside the cycle because that's detrimental. Very detrimental. There's days to cut your hair that's empowering. There's days not to cut your hair because you're going to destroy. The roots are going to be very upset. The follicles are going to get very upset. The growth pattern is going to get confused because you're not supposed to be doing that. It's the same as the farmer's almanac. You're not supposed to be, you only do that during you seed and do all of this plant and even sow and even weed at different days because that's in harmony with the energy of earth, and that we are earth. This physical body comes 100% from earth, and it will not go with you. It will stay here. 100% of his body will go back to earth. So you basically want to have this hair as luxurious, healthy, strong, not only for ether, which, when you get to the higher levels, you want your ethereal energies to be like, that's why I do medical Qigong. My energy levels are at a very high level. So you want to seal these ends, then you can grow them as long as you want. So if your hair is growing 4 inches a year, so you're not going to cut an inch at a time, you're going to just pull it down, and just do what I did. You just cut off like 1/16 of an inch, and that's starting to blunt And then the rest of the hair will grow down. So don't worry. If it's not there, don't bother with it, right? It'll eventually get there. But you can also bring your hair out. So you can come out, out, out. So the head is round. What does that mean? So if you bring all the hair down, that's the bottom of the of this round cycle. But if you don't, when you cut the hair, like if I'm going to cut my hair here, I'm pulling it straight out, because it's right here. But if I want to cut this hair, I don't want to do this to it because it's not straight out. I have to take this hair, and you can see, is it straight out? Yes. So if it's straight out, then I pull it straight out and I cut it. If you want this hair cut, I pull it straight out and it's obviously going further up, and then I cut it. Does that make sense? So when you cut your hair, this is the top of the circle, the globe, and I pull my hair. I don't pull my hair sideways. I don't pull it. I pull it straight up, right there, straight up, because that's how it grows. This hair is growing up. This hair is growing out. This hair is growing. See, look, out. This is not straight up. This is not straight out. This is crooked. So you take your hair wherever it grows and you pull it straight out, clip off a 1/16 of an inch. And then the bottom is the bottom. You pull it down. You just pull it down, the very bottom down, down. Then I just pull it down here. Clip. Does anybody have any questions on that? Anybody have any questions on this? So I have a question right now, and they're asking, why should we never drink ice water? Well, I'll make it 100% clear. What's the temperature inside our body? 98.6 degrees. Is that ice? No. Is it cold? No. The body's a miracle. How does it do that? How does it maintain 98.6 all the time? Because the body is miraculous. So you never drink ice water. I won't even drink cold. It's all room temperature. So when you go to Europe, I don't know about today because they're getting Americanized, unfortunately. But when you go to Europe, you go to Asia, South America, there's no such thing as ice. You ask for ice, they think you're out of your mind in your drinks. Never. So to maintain a nice, healthy, balanced health, you want to drink warm water, room temperature. Yeah, I'm not saying to become fanatic, but ice is totally out of the question. You want to get sick? Drink ice water. Drink ice anything. You want to get sick? The body is not going to be happy. Never. Never, never, never. It's just common sense. It's nothing that I invented. I didn't create this. The body's 98.6 degrees. So to get healthy, happy, and strong, we need to little by little change our habits. Little by little. So if you're used to drinking ice water, and that's what you do every day, then you can just get rid of the ice and drink cold. And then after a while, get rid of that and drink cool. Common sense. Until you eventually, the body will love you if you drink warm water. It will love you forever. So I sip warm water all day long. Here it is, 10:40 a.m. where I am. And I got up at 6:30. I started off with my lemon, warm water. I put in cayenne pepper. I put in apple cider vinegar. I put in some blackstrap molasses. I grated a little fresh ginger. 6:30 and 7:30, I add more warm water. 8:30, more warm water. Here it is, 10:30. and all of that is gone. The taste of a lemon is gone, everything, but I'm still sipping warm water, and I haven't eaten anything at all because I'm not hungry. So that's another powerful thing is you ask your bodies, what do you want? It's not that I want pizza. You have to ask your body, what do you want? It'll tell you when you become very sensitive. Like when I go to a restaurant, which is very not often. When I go to a restaurant, I never open up the menu until I ask my body, what do you want? I sit there, I'm, socializing, I'm consciously breathing, relating with everyone. And I'm basically saying to my body, what do you feel like? What do you want? Do you want pasta? Do you want rice? Do you want to walk? Do you want soup? Do you want something like a salad? And then the body will tell me, like, oh, I really want rice. It will. It'd be very strong. I really want rice. Then I open up the menu and I go to that section, and I don't go to the other sections. So does the lunar calendar change from year to year? Yes, it changes. Nothing is permanent. Nothing. Nothing in nature is permanent. It's static. Everything changes, including the lunar calendar. So it's a lot of work for me to make this up every year because in 2026, it'll all be very different. Yeah, so nothing stays the same in nature. And we shouldn't even do that. We should be flexible, pliable, being able to move and flow. That's what fluidity means. There's a big word now called flow, flowing. It's all into the sports, it's into everything. So that's what it means. It means to basically be able to flow through, not just be rigid and stuck in one place. Okay, to have the hair of the shape look good after the cut, do you change the length of the cuts around the hair? Do you change the length of the cuts around the hair? Well, yeah. So if you have long hair and you only cut the ends, it's all going to be like this is going to be like so this hair growing here, let's say it's going to be 12 inches. But this hair here is going to be 20 inches because the distance between here and here could be 10 inches. So if you pull it all down, the bottom here is going to be shorter. This is going to be longer. But that's why I was explaining that besides just bringing it down and pulling it down and cutting the ends, you could also bring it out, but you need to bring it out straight from where it grows. So it doesn't grow, this hair doesn't grow up here, it doesn't grow down here. You have to just comb it until it's absolutely straight. And then you pull straight, straight, straight. Like see how short my hair is? And then I get to the ends, boom, I seal those ends. And I'm going to allow this hair to grow. That's what I was saying earlier about the wave. So this hair is too short, so I don't cut that anymore. I get longer and longer. So then when I come to the very end, I'm going to snip that off. And then when I come back next month, this will be longer. Eventually, this short hair will come all of it will come out all the way out to here. And then I'll cut all the hair at the ends. And then it'll be nice and blunt. And then I have my complete S. That's the complete S. Then you have natural parts. You have natural colics. Like if you take your hair and brush it all the way down, everybody, and then you push up, you just push up on it, it's going to break into its natural part. You all have a natural part. It's like there, it's starting to part right in the middle, it'll part right there. And then you want to design your hair with those parts. Like in other words, if I have a part right in the center and I part it right in the center, my hair is going to be flat. So the right side is flat, the left side is flat. But if I basically take my hair and brush it over the part's right in the middle, and that is pushing my hair up. So right here, I have a lot of volume because I've actually allowed my hair to be brushed over the part. The same thing, wherever the part is, I don't let, I personally, as you know, as a stylist, would never part my hair in the part. I part it over the part, like right there. I go over the part, and then so that part is now pushing my hair up, which gives my hair a lot of volume. Does that make sense? So I'm using the natural parts. I'm using the colics, the swirls. I'm using the growth patterns. I'm using the waves if there's any. So I'm taking in consideration everything. So when I get done, then you're an individual. So everybody who walked out of Kenneth's, all you had to do was shake your head and you were spectacular. Everyone got blunt cut. Everyone walked out unique. No one ever looked the same. Like at Sassoon's, he did geometric cuts. Everyone who walked out looked exactly like this geometric cut. Everyone. So there was no consideration to the parts, to the colics, to the waves, nothing. It was just, I'm going to cut it off into this mathematical cut. Whether the hair likes it or not had nothing to do with it. Then you had to go home and spend an hour or 3 hours a day with a blow dryer and all this crazy salon products to make it look the way that he basically cut your hair. And your hair didn't like it. Does that make sense? We're talking common sense. Everything that, genius is 1 and 1 equals 2. Okay, so that's that. So light cut more from the sides and bottom of the head hair, and then less from the top of the hair head. It depends on you. The length. For me, I'm a guy, obviously, and I don't want the top of my hair. Some guys, grow their hair all one length all the way down, but my hair isn't strong enough to do that. So I'm not going to allow this hair to grow. The top hair I keep very short because if I don't, I'm going to lose it. It's very, very rare a guy over 40 is going to have long hair. Very rare. Very rare. You see these guys with long hair and the whole top is all broken and the ponytail is like down here and it's only like 5% or 10% because this is all broken, gone. So it depends on if your body can maintain the sebaceous glands or not. So you see American Indians and tribal people, like those men you could be 100 and the hair was so thick, but they lived in the jungles. They were like, riding animals. They were climbing mountains. They were running around in trees, for God's sake. They were surviving. So their physical bodies, very, very, very strong. Our physical bodies are weak in 2020s because we sit in cars. I mean, I don't have to go explain all this to anybody. Our bodies are very weak. I mean, if we were born in the jungles or in a desert or someplace in the wild, you would be 1,000 times stronger than you are living in society. So since we are in society, we're basically doing everything that's sensible and practical to live here. So yeah, so I keep this short because if I grow this long, I'll lose it. This will start falling out. My sebaceous glands cannot maintain this top hair. It will not. But my sebaceous glands here, because they're so thick, if you squeeze your skin, see how thick that is? And here's like how thin it is. So for me, a guy, this is not going to maintain. But women, women are completely different. And the reason, I don't mean you're completely different, but because you bear children, nature has equipped you differently, period. Because a woman bears a child, nature has, second the woman is born, she's very different than a man. Only for one reason, because you're going to bear the child, and the man is not. So nature takes that into consideration, and everything is all in balance, including the hair. So women can have long hair, from this could be really long, and it's fine. Hardly any men can do that. You look at all the men, and they're basically very, very few guys have long hair. Even like today, I look at teenagers and they're 50% hair loss. And you know why? It's all chemicals. Stress, 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 computer stress, news, all that nonsense. And then they're basically using styling products. They're all 1,000,000% chemical, not 100%, million percent. So all the kids today and everybody, adults, all the styling products are 1,000,000% petroleum. Liquid plastic, period. They're liquid plastic. So just visualize that I'm taking this liquid, pouring it on my head. It's plastic, then leaving it there all day. 70% goes into the scalp, into the roots, sebaceous glands, the growth patterns. Goodbye hair. I see 13, 15, 17, 21-year-old girls and boys with major hair loss. So that's the first thing. Goodbye, stop it. Would I ever consider doing henna, brow products, dyes, tints, waxes, powders? I love. No. So what I'm producing is all that I want to produce. I will never produce anything else. Because we have factories, and I believe that everyone has an inner talent. I'm not skin. I'm not a dentist. I don't produce dental products. I could to make money, but that's nothing to do with my talent. My talent is I'm a hair shaman. So, no, I don't deal with this is the other type of hair. Hair on your head, that's me. Boom, hair shaman. The rest of it, no. No, I will not do that. So no brow products. So leave your hair natural. When it comes to live food types, what you're talking about is brown sugar okay for the body? Do you have any sugar substitutes? Well, honey, and you have agave. Agave is like so. When I go into the farmer's market, for example, but I'll go into the health food stores. When I go to the farmer's market and I pick up a bottle of honey and I say, it's in plastic. This is the highest quality food and it's in plastic. You just destroyed it completely. And I tell them, I will never buy your product. I said, like, you're out of your minds. Put it in glass. It's food, for God's sake. Then I go into like Whole Foods and I want to buy agave because the farmers don't have it. And I look at the highest quality agave on the shelves, very expensive in plastic. I go, are you out of your minds? I'm not going to buy it. So I have to go online. Then I search and I find agave or honey in glass. I go, oh, now I'll buy it. So yeah, there's natural brown sugar. I don't bake it. I don't understand that part of it. But do more research. If it's natural, like cane sugar, I'm personally not into sugar because it's really destruction to the energy levels. The body doesn't like it. So I give my body a lot of honey daily. Like in the evening, I do warm water with a tablespoon of honey before going to bed. Very, very, very healing, nurturing all night long. The body is being nurtured with this, and it's very good to go to sleep. Then we have any source books recommending breathing techniques. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the ultimate book is Breathe. That's the title of the book. It's called Breathe. And the author is James Nestor, Nestor. James Nestor, Nestor. The book is called Breathe. I have it in my phone on Audible because I listen to it. But you can go to YouTube, just put in James Nestor, hundreds of videos and podcasts will come up free. And I suggest you listen to any one of them. There's no like, this is it. No, you listen to any one of them for 3 minutes and you'll be shocked because it'll change your life. Conscious breathing is the most powerful food besides impressions. So let's get into, so thank you. I'm going to go ahead and end with this. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more. So stress. We all have stress in our lives today. The news is coming in, wars, insanity, shootings, murder. So what you can do is you can consciously breathe. So as soon as I hear something horrible, which I do like everybody else, these horrible shootings that are going on with children, especially. So you breathe in for 4 counts. Immediately, I'm programmed to consciously breathe. When anything comes near me, if I see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, if it's toxic, if it's stressful, you simply, from the nose only, breathe in for 4 counts. You breathe in 1, 2, calmly, 3, slowly, 4. Now the oxygen is down here, the dantian. You pause. Then you breathe out any way you want with your mouth, your nose, doesn't matter. You breathe out 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. And you continue that just for 2 or 3 cycles. You just breathe in from the nose, because the nose does 30 functions. The mouth is just for eating and talking, nothing else. The nose does 30, that's 30 different functions. So you only breathe in from the nose very calmly, and you breathe down, 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 down. So 4 counts, now you're down below the belly button, because now the oxygen is below the belly button, and only then can it feed cells. It's not going to feed your cells here nor here. When the oxygen gets down below the belly button, called the dantian, you're feeding 30, that's 30, or 40, that's 40 trillion, that's T cells, oxygen. So those are the shocking facts that are scientific. So James Nestor spent 6 years, he's not a doctor, he's a scientific journalist. And James Nestor went around the world for 6 years interviewing all of the breathing masters that he could find and talking to tribal people. And then he took all that information, which is probably around 10,000 years old. So the information goes back to Atlantis. So that's another, don't have time, but Atlantis was destroyed 10,000 years ago. So the whole of humanity reached such a level of perversion 10,000 years ago. It was Atlantean, very, very high civilization. They became so perverted that the higher powers destroyed the whole of nature. All nature destroyed humanity 10,000 years ago. So that's where James Nestor starts, at the Atlantean understanding of breathing. So that book compiles 10,000 years of scientific facts, and also high levels of mysterious secrets of conscious breathing. So that will change your life, guaranteed. Your hair will be happy, your skin will be happy. But stress is a killer. It kills the hair, it kills the brain, it kills the feelings. All the 5 bodies get destroyed by stress. Physical body, emotional body, is our feelings, it's a separate body. Intellectual body, our thoughts, that's a separate body. It has its own mind. It has a different mind than these other bodies. An energy body, that's the 4th body. And then what I just said about the mystery, the magic, that's the 5th body. That's why the thumb is different than the 4 fingers. So these bodies we can work with. You cannot do anything to the 5th body. When you unite the 4, when you unite the 4 bodies through conscious breathing, sensing, and blending, there's another pyramid, then this will unite, the mystery will unite, and then you're at a 5th dimension. But that's very, very high spiritual Qigong. Is this book or a video? So what I'm saying is that the book is you could read it or you can do Audible. It's audio, so you can listen to it. I prefer to listen to it. So I have it in my phone. I have about several hundred books in this phone, and it's on Audible. So a lot of times when I'm in the car, even for 5 minutes, I basically put on an audio book and I listen to it 5 minutes because I need that positive input. I want to get that positive input. If I'm on a long trip, I'll pick out a special book that I want to listen to. And then when I'm traveling to, my limit's 3 hours now. I don't drive any more than 3 hours. Too stressful for me. When I was younger, I drive for 3 days. It was fine, but no more. That's too stressful. 3 hours, that's it. So I'll pick out a fabulous book, and then I get on the road and I'll listen to it while I'm driving. So I'm spending my time being very constructive, very positive, and I'm bringing in all this incredible first food, which is impressions. But these are the things that I want to listen to, that I want to bring in. I'm not listening to the news, no, because it's too negative, it's too toxic, it's very, very stressful, and it's very destructive. So you're losing your hair and you're losing your mind. So I tell I have a lot of students, I tell all my students, turn it off, don't listen to it. First thing in the morning, never, never listen to anything for at least 30 minutes. Don't check your emails. Don't do that first thing in the morning because you're disturbing this whole extraordinary, you're just waking up. And this needs empty, complete void. All these bodies are empty, completely void, and you need time to wake up, drink your warm water, do some exercise, Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, go for a walk. But don't touch technology in the morning. And a little bit, I just do what I have to do. I don't belong to Facebook or TikTok. I never do that. Never. I don't even know what Morocco does. I hear it's great. I hear a lot of people say, wow, I've watched you on, all these platforms and you're extraordinary. But for me personally, zero. I don't want my head full of anything. I want it empty, void, and blank, because that's where serenity, peace, and calm resides. And then at night, before going to bed, like I was starting off with, I'd do some warm water with some honey, and then no technology for an hour before going to bed. Nothing. No books, no reading, no listening, no nothing. So before I'm going to bed, like let's say I'm going to go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock, around 8 o'clock, I'm starting to turn everything down. I answer my emails, no more. Answer my text, no more. I won't look at it any longer. Then I just basically put her around because I cook dinner every night. I love to cook. I find it very healing, very nurturing, and it's an art form. So it's very artistic. So I put on some fabulous music, Pavarotti, put on something really Mozart, something extraordinary. Yeah, then I'll prepare this. I only eat one meal a day. So I do intermediate fasting. So if I'm not hungry, I don't eat breakfast. If I'm hungry, I don't eat lunch. If I'm not hungry, I don't have it. I may feel hungry around 3:30, 5:30, 6:30. And when I start feeling hungry, I may stop and have an avocado or a piece of fruit or even a salad. But then around 3:30, 5:30, I'm starting to cook. Then I have a formal dining room. I sit down very formally, light candles, listen to the music, consciously eat. And it's bliss for me. It's pure heaven. I'm really in heaven. Because that's really what the body wants. Physically, emotionally, mentally, energetically, it wants to be at complete peace and it's in complete silence, and I'm tasting the food. It's very, very nurturing. I'm feeding all these different bodies at all these different levels. But I'm Italian. We were raised, all the boys were raised to help cook in the kitchen, chop things, do things. And I love it. It's, to me, a great art form. So breathing is the second food besides impressions. One, so conscious breathing, I highly recommend James Nestor. And from there, you'll definitely you'll pick up a lot of stuff. He'll mention different other people. He'll mention other techniques, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And his book came out 6 years ago. Like, when did James Nestor's book get published? But I've been doing conscious breathing since the 1960s with my Qigong masters. In those days, it was all secretive. You couldn't get to it unless you got to a master would give you breathing techniques. Now it's all over. So you just go on Google, up it comes. So that's the good part about technology. It's not all bad. It's just that I don't abuse it. So that's my privilege and my choice and my energy levels. I'm not going to destroy my energy levels. But that book will definitely open up so many avenues of health. It's unlimited. And the conscious breathing has so many different types of exercises. But what I just gave you is number one, every master, even James Nestor, Patrick McEwen, Wim Hof, Sadhguru, the main number one exercise is 4 and 4. From there, you can do hundreds of different things. But that's the foundational art of breathing. So whenever you get stressful, like if I'm driving, when I'm driving and anything like, like somebody's cutting me off or threatening or it's getting to be not normal, I just go into conscious breathing. I immediately, I'm programmed. I simply, from the nose, breathe down for 4 very calmly, even though I'm upset. I just heard something happened. I'm really angry or upset or fearful or scared or threatened. And I just immediately breathe down for 4, pause. But I'm consciously breathing. The body's freaking out. The emotions are freaking out. My thoughts are freaking out, but they're not me. My emotions are not me. I'm consciously breathing. I'm breathing. And I'm breathing in my physical body, obviously. So I do that once. By the time I reach the second one, I'm neutralized 100%. And if it's really bad, I'll continue breathing. I'll continue breathing for 3, 5, 10, 20 minutes until everything is, depending on the earthquake or something, right? But you will neutralize anything and anyone by conscious breathing, no matter what it is, no matter how threatening it is. Conscious breathing will neutralize you. All right. I hope that really encourages everyone. Yeah, James Nestor, Breathe. That's really a fabulous book. So you have a great week. Hope everything's going well. So I want to be happy, no stress. The stress comes in, just get rid of it. I mean, I have problems like everybody else does. I just solve the problem, move on. I don't keep the problem here and go, yeah, oh, Alice, I got a problem. Then next tomorrow, oh, John, I got a problem. No, solve the problem, end it, move on, get rid of it. Don't drag it around and regurgitate. It's deadly. That's stress. Oh, did you hear this horrible thing happened? And blah, blah. If there's nothing I can do about it, there's nothing I can do about it. I consciously breathe. I can do that. So I neutralize myself. I neutralize everything around me. Yeah. And you can eventually neutralize your whole family. Whether they like it or not, you can neutralize them through conscious breathing. All right. It's another great session. The art of being alive. Our health is our wealth. Let's make it happen. Let's be healthy, happy, and strong. Namaste. Be well.